Right, guys. A few of you were asking me there about the warranty on the car for taxi drivers. So when I was buying the car, the dealer did say to me, you know, it was up to 7 years or 150,000 kilometers, whichever came first. But of course, that's up to. He didn't give the full for taxis. But I contacted MG Ireland, sent them a message through their website, and I done that last Saturday, and this is Wednesday evening, and I've had no response. And poor form, very poor form, considering the most of the MG5s that were brought into Ireland were bought by taxi drivers. And I have to say, in the last couple of weeks, I actually there yesterday, I was stopped in traffic 3 times by I was stopped in traffic, and another taxi driver would pull up beside me, start beating me, and you know, get my attention, and they'd start asking me questions about the car and the range and how I was getting on with it, and you know, was it good for a taxi? And it is. You know, that's the truth of it. It is. I can go out for a day, car fully charged, and not have to worry about the getting home, or can I do this? I don't have to charge during the working day. I just go out, do my day, come home, plug the car in at home, and that's it. It's fine. But not to get a response at all. Nothing. I sent the message, the request for the information on Saturday evening, and the following day when I checked my emails, short time after, it's obviously a generic message from MG saying that they received my message and blah blah blah. So they did get it, and they haven't responded. So MG Ireland, bad form, absolutely bad form. That's not the way to inspire confidence in people with the car. I mean, EVs to people are relatively new. I know there's you know, the Nissan Leaf and Tesla and that have been around for 10, 12 years, whatever. You know, they have been there, but I think the digital revolution has started, and with the amount of EVs sold in Ireland alone this year, they're all sold out. My next door neighbour, he drives a taxi as well. He went for the e-Niro, and he just had a small issue with it, with the glass, an imperfection in the glass on it, and he went back up to the dealer, and there were 6 taxi drivers there ordering e-Niros for next year because the e-Niro was sold out. You can't get one. You can't get an ID4, ID3 Volkswagen. You can't get a Skoda. EVs are sold out in Ireland already. You know, we're only halfway through the year and you can't get more. So and the orders for next year have already been put in, and dealers are saying they can't add to it. So early next year, EVs will be sold out probably within the first month or two, you know. So we want to know about them. We want to know what we're buying. So give us the answer. So that's it. So I'm actually going to contact tomorrow. I'm going to send a text message. I have the mobile phone number of the dealer that sold the car to me. By the way, James, I had a neighbour knock into me today who's a taxi driver as well, and he wants to buy an MG5. I talked him into it. I did. Okay, remember that. Remember that. Now there was a guy on from London, I think it was James Davies, just saying he was considering buying the MG5, and he'd be driving from East London to Wales occasionally, but normal usage would be fairly low, and just wanted to know about the charging in the car. There's nothing in this car, James, for charging. Just when you plug it in, you know, if the charger is set to charge straight away, when you plug it into the car will start charging, and it will keep charging till it's 100%, and then shut off. There's nothing on the car to control if you want to just do 80% of that. And you were asking, would that be a problem? For me, it's not, because I have this car around 3 months now, and I'm driving it as a taxi, as you probably worked out from some of the videos. I've done 6,200 kilometers so far, but the longest journey I done was today. I got the car, I drove to my brother who lives 68, according to Google Maps, 68 kilometers away. That's the longest single journey I've done in the car, and I was able to go there and back with plenty of battery left. You know, it wasn't a panic. I'm not sure on the mileage from East London to Wales. I know it'd probably be a couple of hours driving, so would you have to stop? The range quoted by MG is correct. It is there. You know, in Ireland we're in kilometres. I know you're still in miles in the UK. It's quoted 345 kilometre range. It depends on the type of driving you're doing, and it's the same with your petrol or diesel car. You know, if you drive it fast and hard, it's going to be fast and hard on your pocket as well, you know, and EVs are no different. So yeah, motorway range is not as good as, you know, if you're tiddling around town and stop starting, you're regenerating some of the battery, so it doesn't use up as much of your battery. But I've only charged twice on the street, and that was in the first week that I got the car, and it was just purely an experiment as to see what it was like and what I had to go through, and I had to sign up to apps to and put credit on apps and what have you. So it was just an experiment. I used one 22 kilowatt AC charger, which I found out this car is the 52 kilowatt battery type. I know in the UK they've already launched and the long range MG5 is available, and that has a bigger battery in it, and if I remember correctly it also has a bigger charger in it. It's only a 7 kilowatt charger in mine, so with AC charging that's the fastest this car will charge at. But if it's the long range, I think it has an 11 kilowatt. Or do check that, and check the model that you're buying, and I asked the sales rep what kilowatt charger is in it. But with the DC charging, which I've done once, it was a 50 kilowatt DC charger. That's direct. That you can get hit with a big dose of power with that. I done that once. I done it half an hour. I done a video on it. I think it was 43% battery I got in half an hour on that. Now the range I've been getting regularly, and when I start my day off I have to drive on about 5-6 kilometers on country back roads. I'm then onto a motorway doing 100 kilometers, and then for a 20 kilometer stretch, and then I'm into the city and I'm walking away, and I'm doing anywhere between 150 and 200 kilometers a day, and I'm using between 40 and 50% of the battery. So the range is true, but you know, do believe the range. So I mean, work out your travel distance. I would say with miles, I'd say on motorway driving, I'd say easily 180 miles on a single charge. I think you could do that pretty safe. So check, there are apps out there. You were saying you had a diesel car, so I'm guessing you're like myself. I've just switched. This is my first EV. I haven't even driven a hybrid before this, so this is all new to me. And don't panic about it. It's easy. It really is easy. If you're charging at home, you're right. If you're only doing 8 miles a day, yeah, you'll probably only be charging the car once every 2-3 weeks. You know, you could get away with that. If you are charging at home, I'm sure you have it over there as we have here. You can get day-night rates, and some companies will give you, 2 hours from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. I'm only paying just over 5 cents per kilowatt from from 12 midnight to 9 o'clock in the morning. Apart from those 2 hours, it's 11 cents, and then the rest of the day it's 18 cents. So you can actually make it very cheap if you charge. I have the Zappi 2 charger, so I can schedule the charger. So when I plug it in, I can program the charger to only charge for those 2 hours if I want, which will put 14 kilowatts, 7 kilowatts an hour, 2 hours, 14 kilowatts, and I that'll give me about 25% battery, and I have been getting regularly on average 100 kilometers for 25% of the battery, so that's 14 kilowatts, and it only cost me 70 cents. The price of half a litre of diesel in this country, and I can drive 100 kilometers for it, Look, the MG5 is a perfect family car. You were saying it was going to be a family car. There's plenty of room in the back. You won't be, I don't think, if you've young kids, I don't think their feet will be able to reach the back of your seat to kick the back of your seat on those long journeys. I've been down that road myself. Big boot in it, you'd fit kids' bikes and what have you into it. You also have the height there, and that's yeah, go for it, don't worry about it. There's going to be apps. I know PlugShare are in the UK as well. Have a look at PlugShare and see where all the charges are around the country, around Wales, where you plan on going. And then don't forget, you always have a granny charger as well, where it's possible to plug into a 3-pin plug, just ordinary household 3-pin plug, and it won't charge the car very fast, but it'll just keep it topped up for you, if you're on holiday or what have you. But yeah, don't worry about it. But MG, I'm annoyed, and James, buy the MG5. You won't be disappointed. It's a great car. I'm loving it, still loving it. Right, chat to you soon. Take care and drive safe.